for his sake. He's keeping notes on that, and we'll put it into the wood chips. So
hey, this is 2 months in a row. My name is Calvin Wright, and I am a new wood turner. And get that out there so you can see. It's like magic. I'm using the force. It's going. It's pretty cool. So I'm a new turner, and I've committed myself to trying really hard to do all 12. Ooh, look at that. All 12. That's my goal, is to do all 12 challenges this year, whatever that's going to, I don't know. That'll be interesting to see how I do. So anyway, so this is my very first bowl. We think it was what? Cherry, we think. What do you think? Cherry? Yeah, he agrees. Phil says cherry. So, so that is the bowl. I think it's got a really cool little line vein going through the front of it, or through the middle of it down there. I was really afraid that I was going to go through it, but I was told that I had still lots to play with. But that tenon is not as easy as you do for a spindle, by the way. So how do I put the back? Here you go. So that's my first bowl.
Found some walnut logs and just made a bunch of small bowls. Figure it on the mark. Okay. Is that all? Why am I scratching? What did you finish them with? This is Mylands, sanding sealer, and the other, whatever it is, the other product. Hi, yeah, like that. And just did wood burning, but I figured like make all kinds of different ones. And this is a oh shoot, nurdling tool for the design in here.
Dan Carlson, and this last summer the storm provided quite a assortment of talking to the mic, Dan. The storm last summer supplied quite an assortment of different 6-inch logs from around town. I got sycamore, sweet gum, that was from across the street, and then walnut that I did that just this afternoon. So that's what I've got so far. And then I got a whole bunch more drying at home too. So that's what I'm doing.
I'm Sue Bergstrand. The bowl is some cherry that Kevin had left in the old shop to encourage people to make bowls. And it's finished with the tried and true that Mike Thomas was recommending.
Linda Carlson, and this is hackberry from Mission, Kansas. And it was just done with wipe on poly. I did have help with the rubber chucky because I only knew the song, not what the little rubber chucky was. So anyway, that was it.
This is my first bowl. I actually made it in April, but I brought it in. It of course had to do its traditional split, but I laced it up there. It's made of tree of heaven. I think that's what it was. Thank you. I'm Terry Johnston, and I'm so cool because I had cataract surgery this morning. That's what makes me so cool.
Hello, my name's Rob Pratt. We're taking a sycamore ball from a 100-year-old barn. It was a thing, I believe. Yep. This was the whole barn. It was a small barn for ants. No. This is Rob's barn, but Rob was back there doing his camera work. So I brought it up for him here. Very cool ball. I don't remember what you finished it with, Rob. What was it? How'd you finish it? Great. He did not finish it or can't remember, but it feels nice. I like it. Now I'm Phil Sykes. There we go. And I figured I needed to make a bowl because I did the demo last month. So this is the bowl that I made prior to the demo. This is the bowl I made during the demo, and then this is the one that I made the other night. These are two a pair, and we can go maybe in on the base because Kevin's been talking about signing your work. Let me turn it over. Make sure you put a PS on the bottom of all your bowls, so that way I get paid for them. And make sure you put the type of wood that it is. In this case, it's pear. Bradford pear, I believe, from my neighbor's yard. And then this other one I really like, it's oak. And it's quarter satin oak, which is pretty cool. So it gets these fun little veins in it, or these ray flecks, which you can't really see on the camera there, but you can come see it in person. So thank you very much.
My name is Terry Nelson, and the bowls that I could have brought that are about the size of the most of them on the table. At Christmas time, I turned to salt bowls for my son and daughter. My daughter-in-law gave me this shirt. But I don't have those bowls. So my neighbor took down a tree this summer, and it's an American poplar. And I have several big pieces of it in my backyard, but I've made a couple bowls out of it. And in fact, I made one for him. And this is another one which I had turned in December, and then second turned it a week or so ago. And it's finished with Tried and True.
My name's Ed Jazik, and I am a segmented bowl turner. So these are all just kind of little bowls that I had blanks already made up for something else, and just decided, okay, I'll just go ahead and make them little $20 bowls. And if you see in the middle, it has little dots, because if you don't put something in the either a solid base to it or drill out that little center, it will crack. So that's the way I did it this time. Okay. And they're finished with salad bowl furnish.
Rick Tucker, I've got two bowls. They're either pear or apple, so I'm going with apple. And I've finished them both with tung oil. And this one weighs 2 ounces, and this one weighs double 4 ounces.
Hi, everybody. My name is Brian. This is my first meeting, so I'm excited to be here. And I saw on the website, thank you. I've been turning for many years, but never joined the club. So I'm excited to eventually join the club here and start learning more from all of you. I just grabbed 3 bowls off of my shelf that I've made over the years. This one here is a walnut that it was a piece of firewood. This was a piece of curly maple I found in my firewood stash. And then this is ash and walnut. And something I really like to do on my bowls is to make a wide rim on them and then do an undercut. So they're actually really, really thin bowls, but they look like they're a little bit heftier. So they're rub-on poly for my finish. Thank you. What's that? Okay, newest member. Woo!
All right, I'm Elizabeth and it's almost more of a saucer because I started with a pretty thin piece. I did not finish it. I'd made this weekend, so it doesn't have a finish on it yet, but there's my little bowl.
This is my little walnut bowl. It's the last thing I turned before I cracked a couple ribs falling on the ice the other day. So I'm going to get back to it and get some more of them, but little thicker than I think I like, but I wanted it to set real well and not be easily moved around, but it probably still is. But it was fun. I enjoyed getting back into bowl turning. It is definitely different turning dry wood versus turning wet wood. So this was kiln dried wood. And the 3-part mixture of boiled linseed oil, mineral spirits, and poly is what I used for finish. And actually some of it was seeping out just from bringing it from my conditioned home through the air and into here. I saw some of it kind of oozing out, so I'll probably have to go do a little bit more finish work on it.
So this is made out of a wood that you can't just turn one bowl out of, kind of like a Lay's potato chip. They call it pear. There's nothing much special. I use the same finish as he did. It's probably got 2 or 3 coats. They sand between. That's all.
So again, thank you. Thank you all for the great participation we had on this event. And we're going to go right on over into our show and tell. So if you've got a show and tell item up here, bring it up and try to explain what kind of wood it is, what you used to finish it, what kind of challenges you hit. Don Frank is going to start us out.
This is a cherry bowl I did for my wife for Christmas. Cut the handles on it, engraved the the wheat stalks on it with a little engraver. The back side of it is acrylic paint. I tried something a little different on it that I'd seen on YouTube. You can take acrylic paint, add some water to it, put it in like a red Solo cup, and use a straw and blow bubbles into it, make a frothy bubbles on it, and then kind of press it in place. It was different. I don't know if I'd do it again, but I wanted to try it. And some of the bubbling on a couple of colors worked fine, some of it didn't. So they have to play around with the with the mixture on, but it was fun.
Well, I didn't use any straws on mine. This is just a walnut. Just a crotch feather. The feathers here. Here's the trunk, and this is the branch. And I like to not put a foot on them because of what happens when they dry like that. You can see that this is these stick out quite a bit and kind of like runners on a sled. And if you try to leave a foot on it, I don't know, it doesn't appeal as much to me. These will just move around. It's kind of fun. And so most natural edge bowls I turn are feathers, have feathers in them. And this is one of those, but the feather is from here to here and here to here. And so in between there is where all the grain happens. You can see, well, maybe you can't see it, but what? Right. And so, I mean, am I going to turn it or am I not going to turn it? I don't know. And so I just turned it to see what happened. And the only thing that's really interesting about it is here's the center where the tenon was. And if you look at it, you notice that this distance is quite a bit further than that distance. And I don't know how that can happen. So it's kind of interesting. And they're both the same finish. This one just has 3 coats and this one.
These are triplets. I forgot the other one. I left it at home. Basically, the reason I brought these in was I wanted to show Phil the finish that I used on these. It's a tung oil beeswax finish. There's 3 coats on it. The wood came from Don probably 3 years ago, and I turned it right away and then let it dry down in the basement. And finally, probably 6 weeks ago, decided, well, I better start doing something with these things. All 3 of the bowls have a different rim on them, and that was done on purpose. This is a pretty unique one. The scary part on this one was I was worried I was going to go at the bottom. If I had finished it like the other 2, which is just a flat finish. So basically what I did on this one is I used a bead, and the bottom of it maintains the same shape as the bowl. So just so that I wouldn't go through the bottom. And so that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. It's got beautiful grain. The one thing that I've learned over the years, and I can't remember what club member told me about this, is that the walnut north of the river, let's say it's I-70, I believe has more beautiful grain than south of I-70. you're going to see a real distinct coloring in your walnut. And the way it was explained to me, and I don't know if this is true, it has to do with the Ice Age glacier coming down through and pushing all that iron or whatever's in. I think Don said it was dinosaur poop or whatever it was in the dirt. And so you get a much better color grain than south of I-70. So that's another story, and I'm sticking to it. Okay, woolly mammoth. We'll let it go at that. Yeah. This is a finish that I bought from Vermont, and it's the most expensive tung oil finish you're gonna ever invest in. They have since moved or resold the company, and it's called Sutherland Wells. So a quart is probably, I don't even know what it is today. I can't honestly tell you, but is it? Okay. $86. So basically, yeah, it gives a really nice warm feel to it. And that might be the beeswax. I don't know exactly what percentage. But I wanted to just show you that the color really didn't darken really at all when I used it or applied it. So I'm pretty happy with it.
I asked Bill Paulo to help me make a pepper mill for Christmas. And I wanted to, he's very good instructor. He's very patient. And I came up with this and I'm very proud of it. It's a wipe-on poly and it's walnut and it's just a basic pepper mill. And my son-in-law really likes it. Now he wants me to make him a salt mill and someone else. So anyway, that's one thing. I also made a goal for myself to participate in the show and tell every month. And last month there was snow. And then this month there's the operation. And next month I'm probably going to be I don't know. So, but this was last month was an ornament. And I made a goal for myself to try to make those spindly little things people make on the ends. And Anthony's so good at, and you're so good at, Chris, and I'm struggling with them. So this was my first attempt at getting thin. And I decided that was a spurtle. So I can use it to at Christmas time to make my oatmeal. And I was trying to make something else thin. So I tried to make this, and Anthony actually came and made it that thin. I was scared to make it. But also a Christmas ornament for last week's Christmas ornament last month. And then I tried one more time to make something thin, and I just chicken out every time. I'm just working hard at it. It takes me all night to do something. Okay. And then when you come to the open turning and that's the only lathe you use, you get all this influence from somebody. And Sue got me influenced on the inside outside ornaments. And I glued some together and I got here and I tried and I didn't get anything done because I was playing so much. But this is my first attempt at inside outside turning and it's definitely not done. I didn't even try to finish it. It's just my attempts. And I'm going to keep doing those. And thank you, Sue.
This is as highly imported, somewhere in between Troost and Paseo Boulevard, somewhere around 55th Street, the walnut tree that went down after it got hit by a car. And my daughter's boyfriend brought me back a bunch of this walnut. And this was originally supposed to be one of those normal bowls, but the only trouble is like I did it sideways because I like the all the rings going this, so I call it a target bowl. And this is another, this one's got Howard's, I always call it weed and feed, that kind of yellow stuff. Howard's. No, it's that orange stuff that it's orange oil and carnauba wax together. No, it's not Odie's oil. It's it comes in a thing, and it's kind of oily, yellowy. Oh well, just call it Howard's Weed and Feed, you know. But it comes out with a nice finish. But I just like you know, because for some reason all the rings stayed together. So
I wasn't able to make the meeting last month, and so I wanted to show my Christmas ornaments. This one I'm pretty proud of. That's my skew work. I raised little, I don't know, fuzzies on the with a skew and made a Christmas tree out of it, and then painted it with alcohol ink. This is a piece. This was a piece of hackberry out of the woods next to me. This is a piece of the walnut battwood. It's a 5-axis cutting, offset about 1/4 of an inch from center 4 times. And I colored it green, offset it, and then cut. Now I got to think how I did that. Yeah, I offset it, painted it, and then cut the tree out of it on the center line. This was a piece of log I found. It was extremely punky. A lot of these dark spots in it are actually holes in it. I turned it green, it warped, and I really liked the warped of the green wood. And so it sat on the shelf for quite a while. And so I thought, I'm going to try resin on it. So it's got about 3 coats of resin on it. It probably could be smoother if I did some more, but done is better than perfect, they say. So there it is. This is a piece of elm. I was on my way last year to San Diego, driving through Colorado. They were cutting the trees out on a farm. And so I stopped to say, hey, what kind of wood is that? And they said, oh, it's elm. Can I have a piece? And they gave it to me. So that is a live edge bowl out of a piece of elm from La Junta, Colorado. And then I carried it all the way to California and back.
Again, I'm Terry Nelson, and this is just a simple lidded box, but I brought it because it's made out of it's actually a rescue of an otherwise throwaway piece that the lid was turned with a different bottom when it was wet. And by the time it had dried, I had realized that both of them were turned to the same size. There was nothing there to put a tendon on. So it wasn't going to, the box was not going to have a lid. So I just found another piece of wood, cut a new bottom and reshaped the lid a little bit to put a handle on it, and rescued part of it. I still have the other piece to probably do the same thing with.
Right. Thank you all for sharing your show and tell tonight and explain